Alright, let's dive into a detailed, engaging narrative about the New York Yankees trade situation leading up to the MLB deadline. I'll craft it in English, flowing naturally like a YouTube commentary, and make sure it hits close to 10,000 characters. Here we go. The New York Yankees find themselves at a critical crossroads as the MLB trade deadline approaches. This season has brought a roller coaster of highs and lows for the Bronx Bombers, and now the front office has a serious challenge on their hands. Injuries and roster gaps have exposed weaknesses that the team simply can't afford to ignore if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. The pressure is mounting for the Yankees to make bold moves, to shore up key positions, and to bring in fresh talent that can handle the grueling stretch ahead. It's no secret that the Yankees began the season with fire, showcasing a lineup and pitching staff that seemed ready to dominate. But as the months have passed, the shine has faded in some areas. Several of their top hitters have cooled off dramatically, struggling to find the kind of consistency that wins games in September. Meanwhile, the pitching staff, which was expected to be a strong suit, has been far from reliable beyond a couple of standout arms. Max Fried and Carlos Rodon have delivered excellent performances, proving their worth night after night. Still, the rest of the rotation and bullpen have left a lot to be desired. One of the most glaring issues has been the pitching depth, or rather the lack of it. Clark Schmidt was showing promise before suffering a season-ending injury that likely requires Tommy John surgery, which is a huge blow to the team's plans. Adding to the woes, the Yankees have been without Garrett Cole for the season, which was a hit they anticipated but still struggles to compensate for. They desperately need to add arms, both in the starting rotation and in the bullpen, to stabilize a pitching staff that simply cannot carry the team alone on Fried and Rodon's backs. Luis Hill's return is a bright spot on the horizon. When he comes back, his presence will be a major boost for the Yankees' pitching rotation, but relying on Hill to return in time and immediately fill the gaps is risky. The team needs to be proactive right now. They can't afford to wait and see if injured players heal fast enough or if the current rotation suddenly finds its rhythm. The reality is that the Yankees' current roster, with its patchwork at third base and inconsistent pitching beyond, the top two starters is not sustainable over the course of a full playoff run. Third base has been another headache. Oswald Pisa has stepped in but has yet to deliver consistent offensive production. While there's hope that he might turn things around, it's far from guaranteed. The team needs options that can contribute right away. When 60% of games are pitched by just two reliable starters, it puts enormous strain on the rest of the rotation and bullpen. That's not a formula for success in the long haul, especially as the postseason draws near. Reports have indicated that the Yankees are poised to be very active buyers at the trade deadline. This is hardly a surprise given the state of the team. What's interesting is the range of possibilities they might explore. The challenge, however, lies in the fact that the Yankees don't have a deep farm system full of highly coveted prospects to trade away. Despite this, the team has financial flexibility and is willing to open the checkbook for the right pieces. The luxury tax concerns have not stopped the Yankees from pursuing premium talent, especially when it comes to addressing their pitching issues. One name that keeps coming up in trade rumors is Sandy Alcantara. The Marlins ace has had a rough season, which is making his future uncertain. His numbers are down across the board with a high earned run average and a negative win above replacement rating. Despite his struggles, the Yankees have been connected to him for some time now. The idea is that if Alcantara can regain his form, he would be a massive boost to their rotation. But the risks are clear. What if he continues to struggle after the trade? Would the Yankees be willing to absorb that risk for a potentially massive reward? Alcantara's situation is complicated. He is arguably the biggest name on the Marlins roster, a player who still draws fans and sells tickets. That kind of status can make the Marlins hesitant to part with him unless the return is substantial. From the Yankees' perspective, it's a gamble. Alcantara's injury history and recent performance make it unclear whether he'll rebound or continue to underperform. His strikeout numbers are down, and he just doesn't seem to have the same stuff this year. It's likely that Miami will hold on to him at least for the remainder of the season, hoping he can improve his value for a bigger return next year. Beyond Alcantara, other pitchers have entered the Yankees' radar as more feasible trade targets. Mitch Keller, who has been solid this season with a respectable earned run average and good innings pitched, represents a more realistic option. Keller isn't a flashy strikeout artist, but has delivered consistent results and remains under contract for multiple years. That kind of stability is attractive for the Yankees, who need reliable arms that can contribute immediately. Then there's Sonny Gray, a pitcher who is familiar with the Yankees organization but is currently excelling with the Cardinals. Gray has put together a strong season, showing a much more consistent level of performance than in previous years. His numbers speak for themselves, and he's been a key figure in the Cardinals' rotation. Should the Cardinals falter and decide to shed salary, Gray could become a prime target for the Yankees. His experience and success as an all-star make him a valuable commodity. Interestingly, the Cardinals might also be a source of help beyond Gray. The Yankees have reportedly shown interest in other players like Nolan Arenado, Phil Menz, and Ryan Helsley. Arenado, a third baseman, is another key name. While his current season hasn't been spectacular, his defensive skills remain top-notch, and there's always a chance that a change of scenery could reignite his bat. Playing for a team that struggling can be demoralizing, especially for a player with playoff aspirations like Arenado. Joining a competitive Yankees team could provide the boost he needs to return to form. Ryan Helsley, a relief pitcher with impressive velocity and strikeout ability, is another intriguing option. The Yankees have a clear need for bullpen help, especially with a lefty arm. Helsley fits that mold perfectly, and his ability to dominate late innings could be crucial for the Yankees' playoff push. However, acquiring him wouldn't come cheap. Given his recent success, the Cardinals are likely to demand a high price. The Yankees' willingness to spend and their need to make significant upgrades create a complex scenario. They must balance the risk and cost of acquiring these players with the urgent need to improve the team immediately. The pitching depth and the issues at third base are the primary focal points, but other areas of the roster may also require attention depending on how the trade deadline plays out. Throughout all this, one thing remains clear. The Yankees cannot stand still. The roster they have right now simply isn't enough to contend deep into October. With injuries, inconsistent performances, and critical holes in the rotation and lineup, they must be aggressive. Whether it's trading for a big-name pitcher like Alcantara or pursuing more attainable targets like Keller and Gray, the moves they make in the coming days will define their season. Fans are watching closely, eager to see how the team addresses these challenges. The pressure on Brian Cashman and the front office is immense, but the opportunity to improve and make a strong playoff push is still very much alive. The decisions made now will shape the team's destiny, and the Yankees must act decisively if they want to avoid an early postseason exit or worse, missing the playoffs altogether. This trade deadline promises to be one of the most pivotal in recent Yankees history. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the roster moves they make could transform the team from a struggling contender into a powerhouse ready to challenge for a World Series title. The Yankees are well aware that time is running out, and the deadline is looming. It's a moment to be bold, to take calculated risks, and to build a roster capable of going all the way. The coming weeks will reveal whether they have what it takes to rise to the occasion. The entire baseball world is watching, and the Yankees have a chance to make a statement. This is the kind of high-pressure situation that tests the mettle of a franchise. If they succeed, they could cement their legacy and satisfy the demanding expectations of their passionate fan base. But failure to act decisively could leave them looking back on missed opportunities and wondering what might have been. The next chapter in the Yankees story is about to be written, and the trade deadline is the pen poised to make its mark. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. The rumor mill is buzzing with whispers that Giancarlo Stanton's time with the New York Yankees might be nearing its end. Sources suggest that the Yankees are considering a trade that would send the powerful slugger to the Seattle Mariners, sparking intense speculation about what this potential move could mean for both teams. Stanton, who has been a key figure in the Yankees lineup, has had a roller coaster tenure in New York, filled with moments of brilliance but also bouts of injury and inconsistency. The whispers now suggest that the Yankees might be ready to shake things up, possibly aiming to restructure their roster or shed salary, with Stanton's contract being a notable consideration. Meanwhile, the Mariners, a team eager to bolster their offensive firepower and make a splash in the competitive American League West, could view Stanton as a game-changing addition capable of turning their fortunes around. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the idea of Stanton donning a Mariners jersey has already sent shockwaves through baseball circles. Fans and analysts alike are debating what Stanton's power bat would bring to Seattle's lineup, and how his presence might influence the club's playoff prospects. On the other side, Yankee supporters are divided between disappointment at the prospect of losing a marquee player and curiosity about the fresh talent or prospects that might arrive in exchange. This possible trade raises many questions. Could Stanton find a new home where he can thrive without the intense pressure of the New York spotlight? Would the Mariners be able to maximize his talents and maintain his health? And for the Yankees, what would this move signal about their long-term strategy? Are they pivoting toward rebuilding or recalibrating for another championship run? The baseball world is watching closely, waiting for official word or further leaks. For now, it remains a tantalizing rumor, one that if it materializes could reshape the landscape of Major League Baseball this season. Fans should stay tuned as the saga of Giancarlo Stanton's future continues to unfold with every passing day. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.